As we grow older, one of the most important indicators of long-term health is muscle strength. It's not just about physical appearance, it's about balance, mobility, and maintaining your independence. Yet, many older adults notice themselves getting weaker year after year, even when they're trying to eat healthier. Here's something many people don't know. After the age of 60, we naturally lose up to 3% of our muscle mass every year, unless we take steps to preserve it. And surprisingly, some of the most common foods that are considered healthy may actually accelerate that loss. You may be doing everything right, eating light, avoiding salt, choosing low-fat or sugar-free options. But what if those very choices, encouraged for decades, are now quietly working against your strength? Certain foods can increase inflammation, spike blood sugar, or interfere with how your body absorbs the nutrients needed to protect muscle tissue. These effects don't happen overnight. They happen gradually, silently, and often go unnoticed until daily tasks become more difficult. In this video, we'll walk through 5 everyday foods that many people over 60 eat regularly, unaware of their long-term impact. And for each one, we'll offer a simple, practical alternative that supports strength, energy, and graceful aging. Let's begin with the first one, a soft, familiar food that's often found in breakfast, but might be doing more harm than good. White bread, soft on the outside, harmful on the inside. For many older adults, white bread feels like a safe and familiar choice. It's soft, easy to chew, and often paired with jam, soup, or eggs. But despite its comfort and convenience, white bread can quietly work against one of the most important things you need after 60: muscle strength. White bread is made from refined wheat flour, meaning it's stripped of the fiber, minerals, and vitamins that whole grains naturally offer. What's left is a form of starch that your body digests very quickly, causing rapid spikes in blood sugar. These spikes trigger inflammation and insulin surges, which over time can interfere with how your muscles recover and rebuild. As we age, our muscle tissue naturally begins to decline. In fact, research shows that adults over 60 can lose up to 3% of muscle mass every year if no action is taken. When we regularly eat foods like white bread that offer calories but very little nourishment, the process only accelerates. Several studies have connected high glycemic diets, those filled with fast-digesting carbs, with increased risk of sarcopenia, the gradual loss of strength and mobility. One study in the Journal of Nutrition, Health and Aging found that seniors who consumed more refined grains had notably weaker grip strength and lower muscle performance. Another issue with white bread is its lack of dietary fiber, which plays a crucial role in gut health. A healthy digestive system is essential for absorbing nutrients like magnesium and B vitamins, both vital for muscle repair and energy. Without fiber, nutrient absorption suffers, and that can leave your muscles undernourished even if you're eating enough calories. So what can you do? Switching from white bread to whole grain or sprouted grain options is a powerful but simple step. Whole grain bread provides fiber, protein, and steady energy. Sprouted breads are even easier to digest and help your body access more of the nutrients in every slice. Start small. Replace just one slice a day with a whole grain variety. Read labels and look for breads where the first ingredient is 100% whole wheat or whole grain. Avoid those labeled enriched or wheat flour. They're often just refined flour under another name. Muscle loss may feel inevitable with age, but you can slow it down, even reverse it with consistent, informed choices. And sometimes, the first choice is as simple as the bread you toast each morning. Fruit juice. The sweet saboteur. Fruit juice has long been viewed as a healthy choice, refreshing, light, and packed with natural vitamins. For many older adults, a glass of orange juice in the morning feels like a gentle, energizing start to the day. But even 100% pure fruit juice may not be as helpful as it seems. In fact, it may be quietly undermining your strength, especially your muscle health. When fruit is juiced, its natural fiber is stripped away. What remains is a concentrated dose of sugar that your body absorbs rapidly. This causes spikes in blood glucose, followed by crashes, a cycle that increases inflammation and puts stress on your insulin response. And after 60, when your body's ability to regulate blood sugar naturally begins to decline, these effects become more damaging. Over time, repeated sugar spikes can lead to insulin resistance, a condition where your cells no longer respond properly to insulin. This doesn't just raise your risk of diabetes, it directly affects how your body transports amino acids into muscle cells, slowing down repair and making it harder to preserve muscle mass. In a 2020 study published in European Geriatric Medicine, researchers found that older adults who consumed fruit juice daily had a 33% higher risk of developing sarcopenia, the age-related loss of muscle mass and strength. Another long-term study from the Harvard School of Public Health showed that regular intake of sugary beverages, including juice, was linked to reduced lean muscle and increased frailty among seniors. The concern isn't with fruit itself, it's with the form it takes. Whole fruits digest slowly, release sugars gradually, and come with fiber, antioxidants, and plant compounds that protect against inflammation. Juice, even if fresh, behaves more like soda once inside. The body, quick sugar, low satiety, and little nutritional balance. What can you do instead? The best choice is to eat your fruit, not drink it. Berries, apples, pears, and citrus fruits like oranges eaten whole offer vitamins along with fiber and hydration. If you enjoy flavored beverages, try infusing your water with slices of lemon, cucumber, or fresh mint. These are refreshing, sugar-free, and help support your fluid intake without compromising your metabolism. Another smart option is a homemade smoothie using whole fruits, plain Greek yogurt, leafy greens, and even a spoon of nut butter or chia seeds. These ingredients slow down sugar absorption, provide protein, and support steady energy, all essential for maintaining muscle. The shift doesn't have to be drastic. Start by replacing 1 glass of juice per day with a piece of whole fruit or infused water. Over time, this simple adjustment can reduce inflammation, improve blood sugar control, and support healthier muscle tissue. At first glance, fruit juice seems harmless, even helpful. But for aging muscles, it may be a quiet saboteur. Fortunately, with a few small changes, you can turn this daily habit into a long-term gain for your strength, balance, and overall vitality. Low-sodium foods, when less isn't always more. For decades, we've been told to cut the salt. And for good reason, high sodium intake is linked to high blood pressure, heart strain, and kidney problems. But when it comes to muscle health, especially in older adults, too little salt can actually do more harm than good. Many seniors today rely on low-sodium foods from canned soups to packaged meals, believing they're making a heart-smart choice. But while avoiding excess salt is wise, not getting enough sodium can disrupt your body's ability to send signals to your muscles. That's because sodium plays a central role in nerve transmission and muscle contraction. Without it, your muscles don't fire properly. You may feel more fatigued, unsteady, or prone to cramps, especially at night. As we age, we become more vulnerable to electrolyte imbalances. This is particularly true for seniors taking diuretics, water pills, blood pressure medications, or following very restrictive diets. These factors can lead to hyponatremia, a condition where sodium levels fall too low, and one that's surprisingly common among older adults. In a 2017 study published in Clinical Interventions in Aging, researchers found that nearly 20% of hospitalized adults over 65 had some degree of hyponatremia, and those with lower sodium levels had weaker hand grip strength, impaired balance, and longer recovery times from illness or surgery. The condition often goes undetected because the symptoms, confusion, low energy, unsteadiness are mistaken for signs of aging. The irony is that many low-sodium packaged foods replace salt with artificial flavors and fillers, which may have their own negative effects on digestion and nutrient absorption. Plus, when sodium is reduced without attention to potassium, magnesium, and calcium intake, the body loses its electrolyte balance, which is critical for preventing muscle cramps and fatigue. So, what's the solution? It's not about going back to salty fast food or heavily processed snacks. Instead, it's about finding balance and getting sodium from natural, whole food sources in the right amounts. Start by using a small amount of natural sea salt or Himalayan pink salt when cooking at home. These contain trace minerals and can enhance flavor, making it easier to eat whole foods rather than relying on prepackaged meals. Make sure your diet includes potassium-rich vegetables like spinach, avocado, and sweet potatoes, which help maintain muscle hydration and nerve health. If you're on medication that affects your sodium levels, such as diuretics or ACE inhibitors, it's a good idea to talk with your doctor about testing your electrolytes regularly. This ensures you're not unknowingly sliding into deficiency. Another tip: don't fear hydration with electrolytes. Plain water is essential, but in hot weather or after exercise, consider adding an electrolyte powder or tablet that contains sodium, potassium, and magnesium, especially if you experience frequent leg cramps or muscle weakness. The message here is simple. Sodium is not the enemy. Excess is. For older adults, especially those staying active and eating clean, it's possible, even easy, to dip too low without realizing it. And when sodium falls too far, muscles suffer first. By aiming for balance, not extremes, you support not only your heart and kidneys, but also your strength, stability, and stamina as you age. And with a few mindful adjustments, your meals can support muscle health without compromising your blood pressure goals. Sugar-free snacks. The chemical weakener. For many older adults trying to eat healthier, sugar-free snacks seem like a smart choice. From cookies and puddings to diet yogurts and candies, the labels promise zero sugar, guilt-free, or diabetic-friendly. But behind these promises often lie artificial sweeteners, and for aging muscles, they may quietly do more harm than good. The most common sugar substitutes used in these snacks include aspartame, sucralose, saccharin, and acesulfame potassium. While they don't raise blood sugar like regular sugar does, they can interfere with the way your body processes food, especially in older adults. Studies now show that these artificial sweeteners may impact insulin sensitivity, gut health, and even muscle protein synthesis, the process your body uses to build and repair muscle tissue. In a 2018 study published in Frontiers in Physiology, researchers found that mice exposed to aspartame and sucralose had reduced muscle performance and mitochondrial function, the very energy engines that muscles rely on to move and repair. And while human studies are still catching up, early evidence points to similar effects in older adults who rely heavily on sugar-free products. Another concern is gut microbiome disruption. Artificial sweeteners may alter the composition of beneficial gut bacteria, which are crucial for absorbing key nutrients such as vitamin D, magnesium, and B12, all essential for maintaining muscle strength, coordination, and energy. A disrupted gut can also lead to low-grade inflammation, which slowly eats away at muscle tissue over time. Moreover, these snacks often give a false sense of healthiness, leading people to eat larger portions or consume them more frequently, all while missing out on real nutrition. A sugar-free pudding might have fewer calories, but it usually lacks protein, fiber, and healthy fats, which are vital for maintaining strength after 60. Over time, this can create a diet that's low in nutrients and high in additives, a combination that leaves muscles undernourished. So, what can you do instead? Instead of sugar-free snacks made with artificial sweeteners, try whole food alternatives that naturally satisfy cravings while supporting your muscles. A small portion of unsweetened Greek yogurt with cinnamon, a few pieces of fresh fruit with nut butter, or a square of dark chocolate, 70% or higher, can offer both pleasure and nutrition. If you're trying to reduce sugar for blood sugar control, consider using natural sweeteners like stevia or monk fruit extract, which don't spike insulin and appear to have less impact on the gut microbiome. Just be sure to choose brands without added fillers like maltodextrin or dextrose, which can undo the benefits. Another helpful strategy is to focus on savory snacks, a boiled egg, a handful of almonds, or sliced avocado with lemon and sea salt. These support steady energy, curb sweet cravings, and deliver the proteins and fats your muscles need to stay strong. The key isn't to fear sweetness, it's to understand its source and its impact. Artificial sweeteners may reduce sugar on the label, but they don't necessarily support health and for aging muscles. That trade-off may not be worth it. By shifting from artificial to natural, from processed to real, you're not just avoiding empty ingredients. You're building a foundation for strength, energy, and resilience that lasts into every season of life. Low-fat cheese. The muscle faker, low-fat cheese has become a popular choice for those trying to eat clean or manage cholesterol. For older adults especially, the word low-fat often signals a safer, heart-friendly option. Grocery shelves are filled with reduced fat slices, shreds, and spreads, often marketed as healthy alternatives to traditional dairy. But when it comes to supporting muscle health after 60, these products may be giving more illusion than nutrition. The problem isn't just what's missing, it's also what's added. In most low-fat cheeses, natural dairy fat is removed and replaced with starches, gums, emulsifiers, and preservatives to maintain texture and shelf life. These additives may make the product taste similar to regular cheese, but they provide little to no benefit to your muscles, and may even interfere with digestion and nutrient absorption. Cheese in its traditional, full-fat form is a valuable source of complete protein, vitamin D, calcium, and vitamin K2. These nutrients work together to support muscle strength, bone density, and neuromuscular coordination. When you strip the fat away, you reduce the absorption of fat-soluble vitamins, which are especially critical for people over 60 whose bodies already struggle with nutrient deficiency. In a 2021 review published in the Journal of Nutrition, Health and Aging, researchers noted that older adults who consumed moderate amounts of full-fat dairy had better muscle preservation and physical function compared to those who consumed mostly low-fat or fat-free options. The study emphasized that the type of fat, especially from natural sources like dairy, plays a different role in the aging body than processed or saturated fats from refined foods. Another issue is that low-fat cheese products often contain less protein per serving than their full-fat counterparts. Protein is essential for maintaining muscle mass, and seniors already face challenges in getting enough through daily meals, especially if they eat smaller portions or avoid meat. And then, there's the satisfaction factor. Fat provides not only nutrients, but also satiety, the feeling of fullness after eating. Low-fat cheese may leave you less satisfied, leading to overeating or constant snacking, often on less nutritious foods. Over time, this pattern can contribute to weight gain, blood sugar issues, and further loss of muscle tone. So, what's the better option? Rather than avoiding cheese altogether, aim for quality over quantity. Choose small servings of real, full-fat cheeses, made from simple ingredients like feta, Goat cheese, Swiss, or aged cheddar. These tend to be easier to digest, lower in lactose, and richer in both flavor and nutrition. Pairing them with fiber-rich vegetables or whole grains makes for a balanced, muscle-friendly snack or meal. If cholesterol or saturated fat is a concern, focus on portion control and overall dietary balance, rather than eliminating dairy fat entirely. The goal is to support strength, not fear food. Also, consider fermented dairy options like cottage cheese, plain yogurt, or kefir, which provide probiotics along with protein and calcium. These help improve gut health, which in turn boosts nutrient absorption, a key factor in maintaining strength and preventing frailty. The message is clear. Low fat doesn't always mean better, especially after 60. In fact, for your muscles, bones, and overall vitality, the opposite may be true. With informed choices, you can enjoy food that's satisfying, nourishing, and supportive of long-term strength without sacrificing taste or health. Sometimes, going back to real food in its whole, balanced form is the smartest move you can make. What you eat every day doesn't just affect your weight or your blood sugar. It quietly shapes your strength, balance, and independence. And after 60, even small choices can have a big impact. The 5 foods we've covered: white bread, fruit juice, overly low-sodium meals, artificial sweeteners, and low-fat cheese may seem harmless. In some cases, they've even been marketed as healthy. But now, you know the deeper truth: they can slowly chip away at the muscle mass and stability your body depends on. The good news: you're never too old or too late to make changes. Simple swaps, thoughtful adjustments, whole, natural foods. These don't require major diets or strict rules, just awareness and consistency. If you've found this video helpful, please leave a comment below. Let us know. Which of these foods surprised you the most? What change are you ready to make starting today? And don't forget to subscribe to Radiant Health 60 so you never miss out on practical, senior-friendly tips to help you move better, feel stronger, and live longer with confidence and vitality. Because aging is inevitable. But weakness, that's not your destiny. Let's age wisely and powerfully together. Muscles after 60.